Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Raider roster report. This is Raider Sparks. Another episode today. We're going to take a look at the Raiders' offensive line ahead of free agency here, just a couple days away from the tampering period. So we'll see how the line shapes up. Just wanted to talk in general about it, but please like, share, subscribe. If you haven't already done so, please make comments. Want to hear what you guys are thinking out there. Definitely helps the channel, though, if you could subscribe and share. If you're another YouTuber out there, a Raider YouTuber out there, let me know your comments. Let me know your channel. I'll definitely subscribe to you guys as well. But I just wanted to kind of take a look at it. As far as the line goes, I think a left tackle, obviously, that question was solved with Colton Miller's restructure. So I think we're pretty solid there, and it makes sense. He's definitely had the athletic profile that Josh McDaniels and company are looking for the Raiders. It's interesting for right tackle though, and I really hope we don't. I really hope we go the way of free agency to address our starting right tackle. But I wanted to start with the right tackle position because I think it's pretty interesting. Just kind of looking at what the Patriots did. They seem to like really big tackles, except for maybe one exception. Other than that, they're all the 325 all the way up to the Trent Browns of the world at 350, 360, that type of thing. So one thing that we should probably take a look at is who should replace or who should come in and be our tackle. And a lot of people say Morgan Moses in free agency, but I think it might be a little different than that. And I think Nate Solder might make a lot of sense. He has the athletic profile that they're looking for. The broad jump and the 20 shuttle is really what they look for, and the weight. They don't really have a length that I could tell, but Nate Solder's yeah 34, but definitely had a lot of great seasons. He had 7 seasons with the Patriots, and one of those was at right tackle, and over 95 starts for him. He was a first round pick in 2011 draft by the Patriots, so they really loved his athleticism. He ran a 4.96 40, 33 vert, 110 broad jump, 4.34 20 shuttle, 7.44 3 cone. So he had that athletic profile that they were really looking for, and he came in and played right tackle, did a great job. And of course, he's been with the Giants the last 4 years, so he has that Patrick Graham connection. But the one reason I think it makes a lot of sense, even more than a Morgan Moses, because I think he's at the point of his career he'll be signing 1 year deals, and I don't think. I don't think Leatherwood is necessarily done with tackle. In fact, I think when we get to the guards, it makes more sense of what I'm saying, but he doesn't meet the profile of the guards. He's 6'5". They haven't had any guards over 6'3", so it doesn't really match the profile. And really, their guards are closer to 300, and Leatherwood's 312. So I think what McDaniels was talking about the other day when they said the process has already begun, I think that process has entailed the weight room and the food line, because they probably want to get Leatherwood up to like the 325 range, like the Solder, because Leatherwood has that athletic profile. His vert was 118, 465 uh, shuttle, and a 7.45 3 cone. So he has all 34 and a half vertical. So he has all of the physical tools and the abilities that they're looking for. Really, what they do with the right tackle's position, and I'm sure it'll be the same with us, is they sort of block in or look inside leverage, I guess is how you'd say it, and use the tight end on the other side, so to help the speed rush. And chip or in that type, so let these guys recover. But really, they covered the size and the athletic profile like Nate Solder. So bringing him in on a 1 year deal and then giving Leatherwood a chance to see if he can do it, I think makes the most sense for the Raiders. So look for Solder maybe to become a Raider here. But if they do turn to the draft, because none of the other tackles really meet the qualifications that we're looking for, Denzel Good is 339, and he's close, but 485 is a little outside of the 20 shuttle, and 103 broad jump is not quite the athleticism and the explosion that they're looking for. So he might be a good swing tackle option. And the other guys, William Sweat, Jackson Barton, the 40 times just aren't there. Leatherwood has a 501, which is really what they're looking for. The 40 isn't as important, but if you're looking at Nate Solder and Leatherwood, they're pretty comparable athletically. In fact, at some points, Leatherwood has a little bit of advantage. He just doesn't have quite the weight And obviously they made Solder a first round pick, so there is that connection. Uh, but if you look at the other picks, uh, so the Marcus Cannon spent 9 seasons with New England, 69 games started. He was in 2011 a fifth round pick. Um, Cameron Fleming, 4 years with New England, 20 starts in 2014. He was a fourth round pick. Michael Onowino was 2 years with the Patriots, 24 starts. In 2020, he was a sixth round pick. Obviously, Trent Brown is just a huge man, but Owino was 344, Cannon 358, Fleming 323, Trent Brown 355. He was a sixth round pick, but not by New England. We all know that. Justin Heron, 2 years with New England, 10 starts. In 2020, he was a sixth round pick. So 2 years ago, they had two tackles picked in the sixth round. The only thing is, Heron was 308, and he barely has played. I think he's somewhat of a disappointment for him. But Owino at 344 is doing well. So something to consider as far as that. Another guy, maybe a possibility of outside shot, is Bobby Massey. Has a pretty decent athletic profile as well, and he's 324. So another free agent that might work. Might be a cheaper option than Solder, but I think with the New England connections, it makes a lot of sense to bring Solder in. So that's kind of where it's at. And as far as drafting, Kenyon Green and Zion Johnson and Jeremy Shalier, those would all be considered tackles for the Raiders because of their weight and their height and stuff like that. Although Zion Johnson's sort of borderline, I think they might consider him to be a guard too, but obviously could be tackle. But I think the one that best fits their athletic profile is Trevor Penning. Really athletic. He's 325, 489, 40, 28 vert, 111 broad jump, 462 shuttle. So those are all the numbers they covered. 725 three cone. So if they're wanted to spend draft capital in the first round, I hope they don't, but this would probably be their best option athletically, and the size. He meets the profile probably the best, better than Kenyon Green, better than Zion Johnson, and that type of thing. So, but Zion may be considered a guard. He's 312, and it's kind of right at the limit. Yeah, so that's kind of there. One of my favorite players in the draft is Tyler Smith out of Tulsa, possibly a second round, 6'5", 326. 502 40, so very close to Leatherwood. 27 vert, 108 broad jump, 465 three cone, which is really good, especially for this man's size. I know he played left tackle at Tulsa, but he was dominant. If you watch him against Cincinnati and against Ohio State, he was throwing around Najee Sanders and Tyreek Smith with no problem. He would be a great pick for us, I think, at the second round. Another round option, probably a third round maybe. Or maybe second, but hopefully a third if we ended up going this route. Abraham Lucas, a little weight undersized at 315, but all the athletic skills you'd want. 492, 40, 27 vert, 107 broad jump, but a 444, a 440, sorry, three cone, a 725 three cone. I'm sorry, a 4.40 short shuttle, and a 24 on the bench press. Definitely has the athletic profile that the Patriots would look for, or Josh McDaniels' new offensive line would be looking for. A couple other guys to keep in mind: Sean Ryan, maybe a third or fourth round pick, 6'5", 323, a 5.25 40, which isn't great, but a 33.5 vert, 110 broad jump, which is what they covered most, is the explosion. A 481 shuttle. 20 on the bench press, so he definitely meets the profile. Maybe not so much the 40, but he has the explosion that they're looking for. And I know again he played all left tackle, but that probably could convert to the right tackle spot. Another guy to consider, Matt Walesko, who I just saw at a UND comp to the Raiders. Very strong athletic profile, but still undersized at 312. 503 40, but a 30 vert and 113 broad jump, so very explosive. We don't have the other numbers, agility numbers for him, but somebody to definitely keep an eye on, Raider fans, if we want a late round pick. If we get a free agent starter, maybe him to come in as a late round pick. And another guy I really like at NC State is Ike Ekwonu. Uh, yeah, I wish. Just kidding. These guys might be the first pick of the draft. Wouldn't that be something? Just throw that in. This would be the ultimate pick, I think, for the Raiders. So if we could somehow get him, this would be the ultimate pick, but he might be the first pick of the draft. So, anyways, those are the tackles, and let's see what happens here with the guards. Guards, they're really at 6'3" is kind of their max, right around 300 pounds is what they look for. There aren't too many guys in the draft, but I mean, if you look at who they've had, Joe Tooney, 6'3". In 2016, it was a third round pick, 304, 495, 40. Shaq Mason, 2015 fourth round pick. Ted Karras, 2016 sixth round pick. And David Andrews again. These guys are all in the 300 up to 311 range. That's why I say Zion Johnson might be acceptable for him at the size because he is 6'3". So that is a possibility still here. But I don't know if we want to spend the draft capital. If you look at their draft history for guards, it's third round, fourth, fifth, sixth rounders. Is kind of where they get their guards, and they're looking for that 40 time around five, like Joe Tooney 495, Shaq 499. Karras didn't run the 40. You're looking for that vert at least 25. Karras is a little under, but I think Karras might be signed anyways for the Raiders. But the one guy that meets the athletic profile is James Daniels, 6'4", slightly over, but I think he's actually 6'3" and like 7'8". So he's kind of fits in there. But 304 has a 30.5 vert, which is over what they would require. A 10.8. Which is right at the mark of what they're looking for in the broad jump. A 4.40, 20 shuttle, which is even better than what they're looking for. I mean, you look at Thuney as a 4.54, who obviously, Thuney had 80 careers, 80 starts with them or whatever. I mean, he was there for a long time with the Patriots. Shaq Mason at 98 starts. So yeah, Andrews 86 starts. All these guys, and he's got a better shuttle than those guys. And the three cone 729. So really solid player as far as athletically goes. He really meets what they're looking for. So. If I was going to look at free agency, Ted Karras or because of the Patriot connection, but James Daniels meets the athletic requirement that they're looking for. If we go to the draft, Cam Jorgens, who we previewed on this channel before, obviously Tyler Linderbaum, but again, it's like Ike Equality. Are we really going to get Tyler Linderbaum? Probably not. But another guy, Cam Jorgens out of Nebraska, 6'3", 303, exactly meets their profile. 492. Uh, uh, 49240 meets their profile. 25 on the bench. We don't have the rest of the numbers for him, but he definitely seems like a Patriots lineman and would fit in nicely with the Raiders. We've previewed him before. And he does center guard. Zach Tom, these guys are all versatile. Zach Tom out of Wake Forest, another guy that meets the profile, so keep an eye on him. He's 6'3" and change, like 6'4" they have him, but he's 304. I think he would fit. A 494, 40, 33 vert, 111 broad jump is awesome. He's 447, 20 shuttle, and 732. He fits exactly what they're trying to do athletically. So look for him to possibly be drafted. He played tackle for 2 years, but he's now converted to center, plays guard. He would be exactly what the Raiders would be looking for. Another guy out of Memphis, Dylan Parham. I didn't necessarily like him at the Senior Bowl, 6'3", 311, so a little heavier than maybe, but Shaq Mason's 311, so about the same. 493, 26 verts, a little under. 108 broad jumps is what they're looking for. 470 short shuttle, 778 is a little bit higher, but anyway, he athletically and physically profiles to be a possible pick for the Raiders, so look for him. And another guy I really like, if they go outside their norm, about 6'5", plays tackle and guard. I really like him. I profiled him on the channel before out of Wisconsin. 6'5", 309 with a 31 vert for Logan Bruce. 112 broad jump, 455 short shuttle, and 757 three cone. I think he would be a tremendous Raider as well. So all these guys, I think, would be fantastic if we could somehow get them. I know I really liked Ed Ingram as well. I just don't know athletically how he profiles. He's a little slower. I think he's one of the best guards, but again, a little slower. And I don't know how much draft capital we're going to want to use because he's probably a second rounder. Same thing with Kenny Green, Zion Johnson, Trevor Penning, Tyler Smith. All these guys profiles. So Kenny Green's kind of borderline, but he's such a great player. Tyler Linderbaum, again, I don't know how much draft capital we're going to use at the line position. I really think Nate Solder would be a good pickup for us in free agency to fill that right tackle spot and let Leatherwood gain some weight and gain some pounds and try to take that spot because it's 6'5". All of our guards and centers are all 6'5" and above. So I don't know what we're going to necessarily do here because it doesn't meet the Patriot way at all. I mean, the closest one is John Simpson. He's a possibility, but everybody else. I guess Andre James is 6'3", so he kind of meets the profile. But his three cone's 8 and his shuttle's 4.84. His broad jump's 10.05 and his verts, but his 40 is 5.32. I don't think athletically he matches what they want. Obviously, we have him. I had made a video to trade him. I don't know if that's going to happen, so they might roll with him at center um, and look to draft one of these other guys later in the rounds to kind of be a backup so we don't have a backup center. But everybody else, Jordan Meredith, I think he's a camp body. Brett Hagee, he's 6'3". So, but we'll see. Simpson's 6'3", but 321, so kind of outside of the profile. And it's going to be interesting. That's the reason why I picked the offensive line to do today, because I really want to see what they do in free agency to address the spots, and or if they're comfortable with what they have, if they meet the athletic profile. But from what I see, from what they currently have, is usually 6'3" and down. It's usually 310 and down or 311 and down. We have typically taller, heavier linemen. Some of the new guys they did bring in do meet the profile. Andre James, I guess, does technically meet the profile, but athletically, I don't think he quite matches up to some of these other guys, especially in the short shuttle, which is what they really look at, and the broad jump, which is what they really look at. His broad jump, Andrew James, was slightly under what they would typically consider acceptable. So I don't know. James Daniels, look for him to possibly come in, and of course, I've given you some really good draft targets. So please like, share, subscribe to the video. Really looking forward to free agency coming up. I want to see what the Raiders do specifically with the line and how they address it. So, anyways, that's all I got for you guys, and we'll talk to you next time.